Your favorite exhibits. Keith, what were your favorite exhibits?
I'll throw out one. I thought that the avant-garde room, which I think was Vibrant Hi-Fi with airtight 211s, was a really nice sound. Todd Bennix is a really good setup guy for avant-garde. He's probably the best setup guy in the United States, and he did it once again. I think he used Unos this year, which is appropriately sized for those hotel rooms, and I thought it really sounded nice. And I think the airtight gear kind of takes a lot of the avant-garde. If any folks thought that horns are harsh and things like that, I think the airtight's a really good match for it.
Gary.
I can't answer that. You know that. I can't
Not
answer
enough
that.
time to go listening around? Okay. Matt, what are your favorites?
Do you want one or multiple?
Whatever you got for us.
Pick one for me. Pick one for me.
Yeah. Okay. So in my favorites would be reference analog on floor 11. I really enjoyed that, especially when he started playing the lacquers. That was just a great experience. Vibrant Hi-Fi. I always love the way that Todd sets up his speakers. And then I was really happy.
The first one you referenced, what were the speakers and amp?
So he was Rockport Orions with the Boulder and Audio Research Pre. It's pretty standard for what he brings, but I think it was a new turntable that he brought this year, and it was awesome. It was great. And then the Mod Right room with their Alta audio speakers, I think was a league ahead of where it was last year. I thought it was a great sounding room.
Joey, your favorite rooms?
You're kidding. I think Zeloton and Rockport for me. Yeah.
And Chad?
Well, I'd say I'll go down 3-2-1. I'll go like this. I kind of decided. I think my coming in for me at third was the Bella Sound Room. I thought that it was phenomenal. I had YG acoustics. I think the Sonya 3.2. It was a DAC. It was a Lampizator, maybe the Golden Gate. And I thought that room had such great tonal balance. I thought that, that the upper end was so nice. I think it had a soft dome tweeter, and I think those kind of help with that upper end. They just sound so nice and smooth. But I thought the Bella Sound Room was phenomenal, and it was phenomenal last year. This goes back to the dealers. They had, I think, panels last year, and with all that gear. But I thought that the Bella Sound was awesome. Number 2 for me was the Zeloton and the Stellavox. I thought it was unbelievably dynamic. I thought great mid-range. Only critique maybe because he does like to set that up on the wide wall, which can be smart. It kind of, if you're in the front row, it's kind of like headphones. You can't get any imaging. So you really, in that room, you needed to go to the back row, or I guess turn your chair around and face the back wall. But that room, I thought that it had well-defined bass. I thought he was doing a turntable, Reed turntable, and again had the Stellavox. I thought that was a great room. And then my number 1 was the reference analog. They had Rockport Orions. They had Boulder 2160 stereo amp, a Boulder 2108 phono, ARC Audio Research Ref 20. They had a Doman turntable, which was phenomenal. And then the Nordost Odin cable. So this wasn't some just run-of-the-mill room. This was, right. But again, I go back to the setup of that room. That was the front wall of that room had those slats. And I will say this, I've been to other audio shows. That wasn't just audio show. That's one of the best depth of soundstage I've ever heard out of speakers in my life. I felt like it was back in that back room. And for me, when you have depth is the gateway to the sounds I like. It's the gateway to layering and dimension. It's the gateway to transparency. So I thought that room, the tonality, it's probably one of the best I've ever heard in a room. So those would be my 3. Again, none of them were cheap. So it goes back to what I said. Does the more expensive ones tend to have the best sound? I guess my top 3 says yes.
A disclosure, I did not get to every room, and these are in no particular order. I, too, very much like the Rockport room, that Dome and Helix turntable. I just love the Dome and Helix turntable setup. I think, and a lot of people said this, there was just some naturally good acoustics going on in that section of that room where they set up the system. So I think that's related to what you're saying about the depth, Chad. I think that was just a room just had naturally good acoustics. That was one of my favorites. I did like often don't love the solid state on Estelon Extreme, but I thought Aldo's room sounded the best I've ever heard the Estelon Extremes with Vetus and with Arian's Sonoris tape machine. And I did like the Von Schweikert audio. I think they were Ultra 7s. Keith, I think Keith thinks they were Ultra 7s with a VAC and also another Sonoris machine. And I did like the classic audio. John Wolfe, Ralph Carson's Atmosphere Electronics, Greg Brown's United Home Audio tape machine. I like that as well. And just not the room, but I love me some Rel 6-pack, that Scott Walker Faber. Keith totally disagreed. Keith would have pulled the plug on the 6-pack, but I love me some woofage. So I like Rel 6-packs and woofage like that.